Do you want to know how to convert occasional customers into loyal shoppers? If you do, then you're in the right place. At Brand Secrets and Strategies, you learn how to save valuable time and money, where you learn strategies to get your products on more store shelves and into the hands of more shoppers, empowering brands and raising the bar. As always, I want to thank you for listening. This show is about you and it's for you. In appreciation for your time, there's a free downloadable guide for you at the end of every podcast episode. I always include one easy to download, quick to digest strategy that you can instantly adopt and make your own. One that you can use to grow sustainable sales with. Remember that the goal here is to get your brand onto more store shelves and into the hands of more shoppers. On these shorter episodes, there's a YouTube component where I may share visuals to help illustrate what I'm talking about, so you'll want to check out the videos as well. If you like the episode, share it with a friend, subscribe, and leave a review. If you want to see more brand building content like this, subscribe and hit the like bell so you'll be the first to get new, actionable insights as soon as they come out. Today I want to talk about shopper loyalty. It's a term that I know you've heard several times. There are a lot of misconceptions about what shopper loyalty is and what it isn't, and how you can leverage it to grow your brand. That's the focus of today's podcast. The point is this: shopper loyalty needs to be earned. It's not something that can be bossed on a plastic card. I've got dozens of shopper loyalty cards. I've got one for every airline I fly on, I've got one for every retailer in our market, and I've also got one for every vendor in my market as well and across the country. My point is this: that's not shopper loyalty. Those are coupon cards. So when you're talking to a retailer about their shopper marketing program, it should also include your brand and the value that your brand delivers to that store. Put a different way, your brand is instrumental in helping to bring brand awareness to the store and to drive traffic into the store. The retailer shopper loyalty program should complement and celebrate the brands that they sell, in addition to those things that the retailers want to be known for. Retailers need to own their shoppers, and the way that they own their shoppers is by giving their shoppers a reason to come in time and time again. Now, the benefit to the retailer is that they can retain shoppers and leverage that shopper to grow their business sustainably. Now, what makes this really important is that you, the brand, have the opportunity to help the retailer grow sales in their store and grow shopper loyalty by making sure that they're giving your customers exactly what they want: your brand. So why does this matter? It matters because retailers generically don't make anything. Let's break this down. First of all, generically speaking, retailers don't make anything. What they sell is the real estate that your product takes up on the shelf. That small sliver of space that your brand occupies on their shelves. What retailers really want is more traffic in their store, a reasonable profit in the category, and a competitive advantage in the market. If you can help the retailer achieve that, then the retailer, if they're savvy, is going to help you achieve your goals: better distribution, incremental merchandising and promotional opportunities, etc. This is a strategy I talk about and teach throughout all my podcast episodes, my mini courses, several are free, my YouTube channel, and all my articles. So let's talk about your customer. Who is your customer and how does your customer buy your product? Well, generically speaking, brands don't really know who this is. A lot of brands think that their customer might be female, head of household, 2.3 kids, someone who eats snacks. That's not enough. This is exactly the reason why I built my free Turnkey Sales Story Strategies course, to help you understand who that customer is. So let me explain. How does your customer use your product when they take it home? How do they evangelize about your product? How does your customer share your product with their friends? What motivates your customers to buy your product over the competition? These are just a few things that you need to know and understand. For example, do they choose your product because your ingredients are cleaner? Do they choose your product because they trust your brand more than other brands? These are all things that you need to be able to understand and bake into your selling story. More importantly, the better you know your customer, how they use your product, how they use it when they take it home, who they share it with, why they choose your product over the competitor's product, etc., and the better you understand your competitor's product, the better you're going to be able to answer these key questions. These insights are what retailers really need. A lot of brands go to a retailer and say, "Hey, I'm a nice guy. I got a cool product and an innovative brand and cool t-shirts. Please put me on your shelf." Or they show the retailer a canned top-on report that shows how their brand is ranked number 1 or 2 in the category. Honestly, sharing the same report to sell your organic baby food that another brand uses to sell their motor oil will not differentiate your brand from competitors. They're usually just a waste of ink and paper. Savvy retailers already know how your brand is performing on their shelves. What they need are actionable insights that they don't have access to on their own. What retailers really want is to understand who your customer is and how they can leverage your brand to drive your customers into their store. And more importantly, when your customers in their store, what are the other things that they're buying in their store? Shopper loyalty data is extremely expensive to buy, and much of it overlooks the core natural shopper, your ideal customer. Much of the data tends to commoditize shoppers and products as a result, effectively lumping all of us into generic buckets. Therefore, it's imperative to strive to become an expert at all things your customer. Work to get to know them the same as you would your best friend. In a perfect world, you would have a one-on-one conversation with each customer as they pull your brand off the store shelf. While that's not realistic, I talk about a lot of creative strategies to get to know your customers intimately on different podcast episodes. This is also a great way to build a thriving evangelistic community around your brand. So when you're talking about what real customer loyalty is, it's not enough to say that they buy my product. In other words, here's how my brand's customer shops throughout the store, and here's a list of the items they purchase when they purchase your brand. So for example, we'll use organic because it's easy to understand. If a customer comes into the category and buys an organic product, that means that that customer is probably going to buy organic products in other categories as well. And so, as that customer checks out of the store, their market basket, the sum total of everything they purchase, is going to be much higher than the customer that doesn't buy organic. This is true for gluten-free, kosher, plant-based, etc. When you get to know who your core customer is, what are the other items in their shopping basket? What are the other items that they buy when they buy your brand? This is what you need to help your retail partners understand. And this is exactly why I created my free turnkey sales store strategies course. Listen to podcast episode 129, Secrets 129, Knowing Your Core Customer is Critical to Your Success, with Ethan Hirschberg from Ethan's, where I talk about this strategy more in depth and how you can leverage this strategy to help retailers grow sustainable sales by leveraging the strength of your brand. You're going to want to check it out. I appreciate you for listening. Remember, this show is about you and it's for you. If you have questions or things you want me to talk about on this podcast and this YouTube channel, please let me know. I'd love to be able to help solve your most pressing bottleneck. Thank you again for listening. Today's free downloadable guide is my strategic solutions to grow your brand. This is a great overview of the key things we talk about on this podcast. It will help give you a solid foundation to build your brand on. This will help you grow and scale your brand sustainably. Don't forget to check out my mini courses, several are free, to take your brand to the next level and beyond. These teach you specific strategies I've used to push around some of the biggest, most iconic brands on the planet. They've worked for me and they can work for you. I'll be certain to include today's show notes on the podcast webpage and in the show notes. You can get there by going to brandsecretsandstrategies.com/session 163. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.